Hi, this is Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, homeschooling 2 of them, ages 12 and 15. Today I wanted to show you my homeschool planner for the 2026-2027 homeschool year. Normally I just get a cheaper holiday homeschool planner from Amazon, and last year I had a different one, but I was going to just go back to the one I had before, which I will link below. It's just really cheap on Amazon. Works for me. But I was able to review this teacher planner, so I wanted to see if I could turn it into a homeschool planner for me. So this particular one, Time Works Wonders, this is from Amazon. It's quite pricey. I wouldn't recommend it for a homeschooler. But I wanted to show you how I turned a teacher planner into my planner that works for me, so you can kind of get ideas for if you happen to get a hold of a teacher planner and want to do the same. So this one's don't get me wrong, it's really nice. If you have the money, I suppose you could. It's got the corners and it's really hardcover and stuff like that. It's not something that I would. It's quite pricey. I think it was like $80 or something. So in the beginning it has a, what do you call these things, like a folder with pockets, and inside the very first pocket I put my homeschool calendar for the school year. So I just found a free printable calendar. This is not the best one, calendarpedia.com, because it lists American holidays at the bottom, but I just sort of ignore that. And this one I found starts August to July, which works for us this coming school year. There's a video before this that explains how we're changing our school year, but we're going to start in August, so this is what we did. So what I did was, I have 2 copies. I printed 2 copies. I used the first one as a rough draft to kind of figure out what days we were and weren't going to do school, and then I put it on with highlighter on the second one so I could see. So all the yellow days are school days, all the orange days are non-school days. I decided this year to keep it simple and not separate, like this is a holiday, this is a day that we just taking off and stuff like that. It doesn't matter to me. I didn't do the Saturdays and Sundays. I just left them blank because that's, to me, it's obvious. I suppose if you do homeschool on Saturday and Sunday, you might want to mention that or mark that. You may notice that we take Fridays off. We do not do school on Fridays, and there are quite a few what look like random days off. And for example, this one here, or this, those are because we take off paydays. So when we get paid, we do a large shopping trip. It takes a lot of work. It's very tiring. Put everything away. We do mass cleaning in the house, and so we just take a school day off and focus on resetting the house those days. One second. So this was what I was saying is we take off paydays for that reason. So we don't do Fridays. We don't do paydays. And of course we have holiday break and a March break. We'd like to keep that going and stuff like that. And I picked our start date and our end date. So we're starting the first Tuesday in August, because the first Monday in August is a holiday in Canada. And then we are going till May 27th, which is the last Thursday, because we don't do school on Fridays, of May. That sounds weird to me because I'm still getting used to the idea. And I wrote at the bottom how many days a semester is, or how many weeks a semester is, just to help me out. And I wrote down semester 1 under August and semester 2 starts in January. So I keep that in the front pocket, which I now can't get. Whatever, I'll fix that later. Okay, so that's in the front pocket. This one happens to come with teacher stickers, most of which I don't know that I can use, but I will use any the no school ones. But grades due, I don't need. Book fair, I don't need. Class party, we can still do that. Field trip, we could do. Some of these are helpful. I don't need professional development days necessarily. Meet the teacher, we don't need to do that. In the beginning part, it talks about your school year overview and websites to remember. I haven't put that in yet. It does have a 2026-2027 year reference, but it has the whole year of 2026 and the whole year of 2027. So I chose not to do my school calendar on that, but I suppose you could. I figured that would just be more like reference if I need to check something. All right, the next section it has, which it had different labels, so I used a label maker to adjust what the different tabs are for. So dates and topics. So it has holidays and special events. And it does have some Canadian and some American holidays, so that was helpful. So I chose to highlight the ones that are applicable to us, ones that we celebrate personally, for things like say for example, it's September's Labor Day. We don't celebrate it per se, but we don't do school that day, so we honor it, I guess. Civic holiday in Canada in August. Things like the beginning of autumn, or the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, Groundhog Day, Chinese New Year, things that we might do school for. Like, we don't celebrate Chinese New Year, but we might do something for it in school, so I highlighted those. I also changed and added in Family Day, which is celebrated in Canada but wasn't on here. But it's the same holiday as a American holiday, so I just whited it out and put mine in. April Fool's Day, Earth Day, May Day, Mother's Day, added in Cinco de Mayo, stuff like that. So that was kind of like just for helping me plan. Dog. Okay, the next one I changed in is listed by month. So I just called it topics, and I wrote down things. They may be related to a holiday, they may not, that I want to cover. For example, we're going to do photography things in August. We're going to do spooky or legends or folklore stuff in October. October's ADHD Awareness Month. I might want to do something for that. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily doing something for that, but I might do something for that. Like I said, agriculture might be good if we wanted to do anything for that in September. Diabetes Awareness Month is in November. I have diabetes. So I wrote down anything that I may want to consider when planning extra things. And then the next section is a seating chart section, but basically it's just a blank grid. So what I decided to do, and I'll show you in a second, is write down my child's curriculum, and then some of them are how many weeks, how many lessons, how many sections, depending on the type of curriculum that she's doing it, and I have it as a check-off chart, so we can keep track of how far we're getting in our curriculum. So that's what I have so far. So like World Geography from Guest Hollow, every time we do a lesson, or a week, I'm sorry, this one's weeks. This was my daughter's. After I did my son's, I have to go back and fix my daughter's. I decided to add in what kind of measurement it was. So like, is it sections, or is it weeks, or is it, chapters, that kind of thing. I added that in for my sons. Alright, then the next section, they have classroom absentee or tardiness log, which I do not need for my school. So I just labeled it log, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet. I can definitely, this is what it looks like. I can definitely change the tops. So if anybody has any suggestions for what I could use this for, I'm open to suggestion. I just haven't decided what I'm going to log. There's 2 pages of it. So after that, I switched the next section to enrichment. So they had another one where they showed the months, but they're really small. And then the next page, I forget what it actually said. I think it's a date, semester, subject, concept, or something. It's like one of these charts. So what I did was, on this section, anything but enrichment is, enrichment Thursdays. So on Thursdays, we do regular school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Thursdays, we do what most people consider a morning basket or morning time, but we don't do it in the morning, we do it all day. So these are ideas of what, I did this page first. I wrote down the different books and materials that I have that I'd like to possibly squeeze in this year. Obviously, I'm not going to do them all. So I put what topic it was, what the book title is, and how many pages, so I could see how long it might take us. Now, these are like usually, some people do read alouds. We don't really do read alouds. It doesn't work for us. Or if we, like fiction read alouds. So these are all non-fiction. So things like Geometry is as Easy as Pie. The Girl Who Loved Giraffes, How to Remember Everything, Govern Like a Girl, Make Your Own Money, Made in Canada. So different nonfiction books. And I wrote them down based on their topic and their page numbers. And then I decided to decide which month some of them at least are going. So in August, we're going to focus on anything that's a picture book, try to get those done and out of the way so we can pass them on. And I mentioned the photography, so we're going to do a fun schooling photography thing that I have. December, we have a Christmas book that I'm going to use. So yeah, I just decided basically, and I wrote down how many, because enrichment is a Thursday, so I wrote down like 3 Thursdays or 4 Thursdays or whatever to help me understand how long we might have for that section. This particular one starts with a month overview, has goals, to-do list, and emails to send. So I don't know that I need emails to send that way, but goals and to-do lists I may use, and it has like a cool, nifty bookmark. Then it has the month calendar, which I use a calendar for something else, so this would only be if I wanted to write down anything homeschooling. So I may not actually use that calendar. And then it goes by weeks. So a lot of teacher ones are a little bit different. If you can see, it says subject and time. I don't need to write down the time. So it has the dates across the top, so I'm just going to do subjects across the side. And then I usually, like I do for both my kids, so like I do, you know, say 3 blocks might be my daughter and 4 blocks might be my son. And if I have more than 4 or 3 classes, I just mix a couple of them in the same block. And then I like this one has lines. So that's most of it. At the very end, there's also a grade book, which for my son, sometimes I keep grades, but I haven't been doing a very good job of it. So I wanted to be able to write them down instead of trying to find them later. I've been doing it on the computer. That doesn't really work for me. I like to write it down. So since I already have a grade book couple pages, I will use it for that. And so I'm going to use that as is. And then the last section is student info, student parent contact info. I obviously don't need that section. So I may leave it blank, or I may find something else to use to list in it. I don't know yet. So I recommend a homeschool planner, but if you happen to come across a free or cheap teacher planner, or you already have one, you can definitely figure out ways of using them by adjusting them to your needs. So that is the planner I'm going to be using for the 2026-2027 homeschool year. If you have any suggestions, especially for that one section I mentioned, the log, I would love to hear it. And let me know what planner you're using this year. Or if you aren't using a planner, or if you're using an online planner, let me know. Okay, thanks. Bye.